Marc Casado embodies the very spirit of Barcelona, a club that has always known how to value talents from its training center. Trained in the club's youth categories, Casado represents the model player that Barcelona cherishes so much: talented, disciplined, and loyal to the colors. His journey within the club has been marked by constant evolution, with remarkable performances at Barcelona Athletic and an absolute willingness to help wherever needed. Even before establishing himself in the elite, he already showed signs of his commitment. Under the direction of Xavi Hernandez, Casado did not hesitate to integrate into the first-team dynamics when called upon, nor did he shy away from returning to the reserve team to gain playing time when circumstances required it. This gesture of humility and professionalism sets him apart in an increasingly competitive environment. Last season was particularly demanding for Casado. He managed to enter the plans of the first team, but an unfortunate injury kept him away from the most decisive moments of the season. While his teammates fought for titles, he experienced the end of the season from the stands, with the frustration of not being able to contribute on the field. Despite this setback, his determination did not waver. On the contrary, he sees the 2025-26 season as a new opportunity to prove his worth under the orders of Hansi Flick. He knows the competition will be fierce, but he is confident in his ability to bring his tactical vision, commitment, and intelligence to the midfield game. In a scenario where Barcelona's midfield is more crowded than ever and where Hansi Flick is evaluating possible moves to lighten the squad, Casado's name has been mentioned as one of the candidates for departure. However, the 21-year-old player is not willing to move. As reported by the newspaper Sport, his sole intention is to continue fighting for a place in the first team. Marc Casado, one of the most committed gems from La Masia, has clearly indicated that his future is linked to Barcelona. Despite interest from several clubs, including Atletico de Madrid, the young midfielder does not envision any path other than wearing the Blaugrana jersey. In addition to his performances on the field, Casado has shown a deep connection with the Cule supporters. He was often seen sharing celebrations with the fans, like one of them, vibrating with each success of the team. For him, Barcelona is not just his employer, it is his home, his dream, and his life. While many players his age might consider leaving as a way to gain playing time and visibility, Casado has his eyes set on triumph at Camp Nou, even if it means waiting for his moment with patience. His goal is clear: to become a stable member of the team and earn Flick's trust through silent and constant work. Eric Garcia embodies the ability to reinvent and adapt himself to the team's needs, becoming one of the most reliable resources for Hansi Flick during the past season. Garcia, who returned to the club after a very positive loan spell at Girona, seemed destined to leave the Blaugrana discipline last winter. His future was uncertain, and the options to continue accumulating minutes seemed limited. However, the arrival of Flick marked a turning point. The German coach, knowing Eric's versatile profile, intervened directly to slow down his departure and convince him that his role would be important in his new project. This bet paid off. Garcia finished the season with more than 2,100 minutes in 45 official matches, contributing 5 goals and 3 decisive passes, including a crucial goal in a classic match. But beyond the numbers, what the technical staff appreciated the most was his ability to adapt to different positions. He played as a central defender, right back, and even as a defensive pivot at times. According to the newspaper Sport, Barcelona has already concluded an agreement to renew his contract until 2030, although the official announcement has not yet been made. The decision is made and clearly reflects the confidence that Flick places in him. The player's previous contract was set to expire in 2026, so this extension ensures his long-term presence and strengthens the defensive stability of the team. The almost certain sale of Hector Fort this summer opens even more space for Eric Garcia to establish himself as the main alternative to Jules Koundé on the right side. Additionally, given the recurring physical problems of Christensen, Araujo, and Inigo Martinez, his role as a joker at the heart of the defense will once again be fundamental. The player himself, aware that the competition for a place in the starting 11 is intense, has set the condition of having continuity during the season. Flick responded positively, assuring him an important role in the rotation. If Garcia maintains the level shown last season, the coach does not rule out that he will again exceed 40 official matches. Ultimately, Eric Garcia represents the profile of player that every team needs: discreet, hard-working, versatile, and ready to adapt without losing his ambition. His renewal until 2030 is a clear signal that in the new Barcelona of Flick, there is also room for silent heroes. Gavi, the young talent of Barcelona, has finally broken the silence amidst the club's movements during the summer transfer window, offering his perspective on the arrival of new reinforcements and his own situation within the team now led by Hansi Flick. The club, in the midst of a renovation phase under the direction of the German coach, has made an ambitious bet to strengthen its attacking front. The loan incorporation of Marcus Rashford from Manchester United has undoubtedly been one of the most publicized moves of the summer. The English international has already made his first appearances in the Blaugrana jersey during this pre-season. In statements to RAC1, Gavi expressed enthusiasm about the arrival of the British attacker. Rashford is a top-level player. I am very happy about his arrival because I believe he can bring us a lot. Since he's been here, we've felt his quality and winning mentality. We are all excited about what he can achieve with us. However, the Andalusian did not avoid mentioning another name that had been in the club's sights for months: Nico Williams. The athletic club winger was the subject of intense rumors placing him at Camp Nou. And although a personal agreement was advanced, the player ultimately chose to continue his career in Bilbao. Gavi was direct in speaking about this failed attempt. Nico is a spectacular footballer. He has already demonstrated it with the national team. It would have been great to have him here, but everyone makes their own decisions. Now, we have Rashford, and that's also a chance, he assured in the same interview with RAC1. Beyond the transfers, Gavi also took the opportunity to talk about his personal situation within the team. Despite his young age, the midfielder already has several seasons with an important role in the first team, although he has had to coexist with the fierce competition that comes with sharing the locker room with figures like Frankie de Jong and PEDRI. I have always felt Flick's support since his arrival. Our relationship is very good. He respects me a lot, and I try to return that trust in every training session, he expressed. Although he is not an indisputable starter in every match, Gavi shows mental strength. I know that sometimes I have to wait on the bench, but that doesn't demotivate me. I am ready to compete with the best, and Frankie and PEDRI are the best. In the past season, the young Andalusian played a total of 42 official matches with the first team, accumulating 3 goals and 2 decisive passes, figures that reflect his commitment and regularity. Although he does not always occupy a central role, the upcoming season will be crucial for Gavi, not only for the challenge of establishing himself as a fundamental piece of Flick's new project, but also for the competitive pressure that the arrival of new top-level players like Rashford will bring. The internal competition promises to be fierce, but for the civilian, this does not represent an obstacle, but rather an additional incentive to continue growing. Frankie de Jong is at a crossroads with Barcelona. Although his contract ends in June 2026, the club has already started negotiations to secure his future as soon as possible, aware of the risks involved in leaving things uncertain. Despite ongoing discussions with his representatives, a renewal has not yet been finalized, and there is growing unease within the club's offices. According to a recent report by El Nacional, the situation has forced the sports management to set a deadline, December 2025. If no agreement is reached by then, the Dutch midfielder could negotiate freely with other clubs starting in January, as allowed by FIFA regulations for players entering the final year of their contract. For Barcelona, losing De Jong for free after he has been one of their most significant investments would be a major blow, both sportingly and financially. From the players' camp, it has been repeatedly stated that his desire is to stay with the club. De Jong is fully adapted to life in Barcelona, maintains an excellent relationship with his teammates, and believes he still has much to contribute to the sporting project. His commitment is undeniable. However, this positive disposition has not yet translated into significant progress at the negotiation table. While the offices analyze the operation in detail, on the sporting front, the consensus is clear: Frankie de Jong is indispensable. The German coach, Hansi Flick, considers him a fundamental piece in his game plan, especially for his ability to initiate play and his experience in midfield. Since his arrival on the bench, Flick has clearly indicated his intention to rely on the Dutchman beyond 2026, and this pressure from the technical sector has also influenced the club's stance on the renewal. However, Deco, the club's sporting director, faces a delicate situation. While he understands the player's footballing value, he also has the responsibility of maintaining the project's economic sustainability. This is why he has set a clear deadline, December 2025. If a reasonable agreement beneficial to both parties is not reached by then, it is not ruled out that the club may start considering other scenarios. Barcelona does not want to repeat past mistakes. Allowing a high market value player to leave without generating revenue would, according to sources close to the club, be a sign of poor management. Therefore, the margin for maneuver is narrow, And although for now all parties maintain a constructive attitude, the clock is ticking, and decisions cannot be postponed indefinitely. The case of Frankie de Jong has become a test for the current management, which seeks to balance sporting ambitions with financial realism. On one hand, there is the desire to retain a key player in Flick's scheme. On the other, the need to adjust salaries to comply with league requirements and ensure adherence to the famous financial fair play. For now, the dialogue remains open, and there is a willingness from both parties to reach an agreement. But, as El Nacional reports, within the club, no one wants to wait until the last minute. Patience, although it has been an ally in the past, now has an expiration date. Marcus Rashford embodies the new dynamic of Barcelona, which, at the end of an intense pre-season, is preparing not only on the sporting front but also administratively. The club must resolve the situations of several of its players before the start of the La Liga season against Mallorca on August 16, as reported by Mundo Deportivo. Rashford is one of 5 players whose registrations the club aims to finalize before the Joan Gamper Trophy, alongside Joan Garcia, Viesny, Rooney Barg, and Gerard Martin. The confidence of the sports management is total, and it is expected that the team's return to Catalonia this Tuesday will mark the beginning of a crucial week to close the administrative chapter. One of the names generating the most anticipation is Marcus Rashford. The English attacker, on loan from Manchester United, has publicly expressed his confidence in being available for the start of the La Liga season. "I believe it's something the club needs to resolve, and I trust that it will happen. I am focusing on training and being ready for the start of the season," he stated calmly. The incorporation of the Englishman is not only relevant for his talent, but also for what he represents in the new sporting project under the direction of Hansi Flick. The attacker does not hide his ambitions. Everyone wants to win the Champions League. Last year was fantastic, and now we have to try to recreate that and improve by winning it. The English international, who will wear the number 14 at Barcelona, joked about the possibility of scoring 100 goals or as many as possible during the season. His versatility will be key in Flick's scheme. "I can play in different positions and score goals from all areas of the field. It's about being able to score from different zones." Facing the restrictions of La Liga's financial fair play, Barcelona has opted for a different path than selling key players. According to information published by Mundo Deportivo, the club is relying on internal revenues to generate the necessary margin. Among these, the €100 million expected from the VIP packages of the new Spotify camp, validated by the auditor Crow, and a recent sponsorship agreement with the Democratic Republic of the Congo, which will bring in 10 million net per season, stand out. With these economic injections, the entity led by Joan Laporta is confident in avoiding extreme measures such as activating the medical retirement of Marc-André ter Stegen, an option that remains on the table but is seen as a last resort. "We are progressing adequately," Laporta assured regarding the state of the process during an intervention prior to a gala dinner during the tour.